Can I have your attention, please? Good afternoon, faculty, staff, students, and visitors to Anna Middle School Annual Black History Program. This year, our theme is The Power of One. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the program. At this time, we have Donna Shamir doing the invocation.
Please close your eyes for the invocation. We come before you today to give you honor and praise. Thank you for this day. Please bless this program and all that have worked very hard to make it possible. We are thankful for Anna Middle School administrators, faculty, staff, students, and the community. We ask that you continue to guide us in our daily lives as we stand for justice, equality, wisdom, productivity, and respect for one another. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Donna. Please stand while the AMS chorus sings. Lift every voice and sing, often referred to as the Black American National Anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for coming to this program, and I'd like to thank you ahead of time for listening, because this is your opportunity to learn from your fellow students. Thank you for modeling what you should do in an assembly for us today.
Let our rejoicing
substitute school teacher, and mortician aide, always prayed to be buried sitting up. Death came by a heart attack as he sat in the hearse, returning from another death call. He planned the style of his own funeral while alive, and then went to his grave sitting upright in a specially made casket holding his Bible. He left behind no wife or children, but his grandniece is an employee at Aner Middle School, Reverend Clara Denise Curry, our very own data quality Kurt. Reverend Andrew Stakehouse is truly missed by his family and friends.
Thank you, Hedges. Our AMS students will now perform Who Am I?
I was born in Richmond, Virginia in the year 1864 in the month of December. I was once a teacher, however, when I got married, the rule was I could no longer teach. After that, I became the first woman to be president of a bank. I never depended on anyone else. I tried to solve my own problems. Once I needed a wheelchair, and I made my own. I made this wheelchair from a plain chair and added metal wheels. I always found a way to take care of my family. I died in 1934. I am Maggie Lynn Walker.
I was born January 1918 in Arkansas City, Arkansas. I was the founder of Johnson Publishing Company, which published magazines such as Ebony and Jet. I was the first African American to appear on the Forbes 400. I was a grandson of slaves, but in my life, I was chief executive officer for Supreme Life Insurance Company. I had a line of cosmetics, I purchased 3 radio stations, and the book publishing company and television production company. I died August 8, 2005. I am John H. Johnson.
I was born on October 10, 1901 in Washington, D.C. I was the president of the Tuskegee University from 1935 to 1953. I was the creator of the United Negro College Fund. One of my sons was a leading political figure in Ohio. I died on April 27, 1988. I am Frederick Patterson.
I was born on August 9, 1869 in Metropolis, Illinois. When I got out of high school, I became very interested in hairdressing. I practiced with my sister all the time. I created my own line of cosmetics for African American women. I started selling door to door. By the 1920s, I was a millionaire. After my divorce, I was knocked down financially, but my business thrived again. I died on May 10, 1957. My estate was sold for $100,000 due to my losses. I am Andy Malone.
I was born in 1869 in Baltimore, Maryland. I was born a free black man, even though Maryland was a slave state. And even though Maryland was a slave state, I would persevere through the hard times that I would surely face. I was elected as president of the United Negro Nation in 1869 and was elected as president of this union. I later was elected as president of the Colored National Trade Union in in 1869. My legacy would live on through my son, who would live on to become a political leader in Ohio. I died in 1891. I am Isaac Myers.
I was born in 1800 in upstate Virginia. I died in 1895 at the age of 95 years old. I am famous because I successfully created my own laundry business and helped former slaves get back on their feet after being freed. I achieved my goals during the harsh time of losing one of my children and being auctioned off at a slave trade and being separated from each of our loved ones. But thankfully, I was reunited with one of my daughters. I am Clara Brown.
I was born in 1892, July 4th. I died in 1996, January 19th. I was a grandson of a slave and didn't finish my education. I formed a insurance business and a funeral home. I am Arthur Gusto.
Born in 1995. At the age of 9, I started my own company to market hair and skincare products. I call my company Leanna's Inc. And at age 19, my company makes $100,000 a year. My parents quit their full-time jobs to help mix, package, and send out products to my customers. At the age of 13, I became the youngest CEO to ring the opening bell of the New York Stock Exchange. In addition to my business, I continue to run the Leanna Archer Foundation, dedicated to providing meals, education, and a safe environment to children in Haiti. I am proud that my line of products started with a recipe developed by my grandmother from my hair. I am Leanna Archer. We are entrepreneurs from history and present day who have shown what the difference the power of one can make. Thank you for listening to our stories.
Sweet love, sweet chariots, come for carrying home.
Great job, Forrest. We are honored to have two speakers this year, Miss Wolf and Miss Shaw, all the way from Lawrence, South Carolina.
Hello. You bring your greetings from Lawrence, South Carolina. Oh, okay. All right. You gonna get loud? I can't speak? Okay. We're one half of a group called Heirs to the Throne, and what we are is a spoken word group. Our tagline is that we are artistically anointed yet culturally aware. So today I want to share a poem with you called Eternity. Whew. We are embedded in eternity. The before and after, the gonna be of humanity. All involve a hint of melanin. Did you hear? Eternity. Black people never fade. Our names just change. Eternity is a state that never ends. A complete and complex thought of immortality carried from one generation to the next generation. On papyrus reeds, the germination of our knowledgeable seed didn't just begin 400 years ago as slaves brought in to work fields, though American history neglects to portray the true role of the African American. You should know, it predates Egypt. We are the seeds germinated in dark brown earth, bursting forth to birth that all natural thing that is black. Our lineage is not one that accepts lack. We fill the void with what others don't have. The God-given knowledge of our ancestors proves that we come from a line of producers. Producers of what, one may ask? Producers of what the world needs. This is what it means to not only be black, but more Egyptian, African. The black man's creation of papyrus manifested an unquenchable thirst for knowledge. The great matter of black minds were in fact those that designed the pyramids of Giza. Please ask more than what they tell you. Offer a breath mint created by black men if anyone tries to sell you some old bull crap about not being able to read or being slaves before we came to America. You are royalty. Producers who supply needs. Don't sell yourself short. Women, you aren't exempt. My queens were in the kitchen measuring out spices and oils to create perfume, so the scents you smell are simply a very far and inopportune cry back to a homeland we know so well. Yes, black women, we invented Chanel. Before another noticed the need of common everyday necessities, Moors, Egyptians, Africans, blacks had already invented that. Need I speak on the Roman conquerors, the king mulattoes, all considered Negro in features though they've been whitewashed. We are more than George Washington Carvers who inspired Henry Ford's assembly line. Don't be blind. We are more than dreams deferred, crystal stairs and recognition unheard or ungiven. Dear black people, we are the vision. The vehicle used to inspire the world. Style, slang, professional hood. It's taken, and they try to give it back. But here's the thing. No matter how hard it tries, white can never be black.
Do we really understand the concept that we are free? Or would we rather be confined in a box by the world and society? Imagine being whipped and beaten while still in chains, preventing you from shielding the wounds that will later leave a deep scar, reminding you that your free will was being suffocated while you were being hated because of who you are. Imagine being thirsty and not being able to drink from the same fountain because of the color of your skin. All the silent cries and screams were entrapped in the wind. All the mighty men and women who fought for equality so that we can remove the scales from our eyes and we may begin to see that racism still exists. Even if we decided to put a Band-Aid on it, then the world would still bleed because they decided to plant their own hatred and inequality instead of Christ, the incorruptible seed. Hate is too great a burden to bear. It injures the hater more than it injures the hated. The activist Coretta Scott King is the one who stated this. When W.E.B. Du Bois said, the cost of liberty is less than the price of repression, so why do we insist on allowing society to hang us by strings, using us as their puppets. Colin Powell, the first African American appointed as the U.S. Secretary of State, said, "Have a vision and be demanding." But we've somehow lost who we really are in a world of lies and misunderstanding. Black history should not just be celebrated for a month. We all should celebrate the different colors God has created in the rainbow, so that we as a people can come together and show within our actions and not just within our speech. We will be amazed at what would happen if we all united as one in the many nations that we can reach. Because underneath, we all bleed the same, but allowing color to be a factor would really be a shame. I don't think God created the rainbow was ever a mistake. It was clearly a sign of covenant and a continuous guide for us today. That even God combined the colors together to shed light over the earth, that we all may be protected under God's grace and worth.
Wonderful job, ladies. We will end our program with our principal, Mr. Watkins, giving the closing remarks.
First, I want to thank everyone for participating today. For those of you that are sitting here, if you've never been a part of production, if you've never been a part of putting a program together, there's a lot that goes behind this, from setting up the chairs, putting PowerPoints together, practicing with the students. I would be remiss if I started to name people because I would leave people out, but I do want to thank Ms. Cohen Hardy and Ms. Claire Curry, and for sure Ms. Altman and her group. A lot of students put time into this, and we do thank you all. It's very important. We do want to remind our guests before we dismiss you first. Our community rooms down the hall to the left, we have plenty of food, desserts, beverages. Stop by. Please help yourself. Those of you sitting here, our guests. Sorry, students, we don't have enough for y'all. We already fed y'all today. So before we start to deal with our students, guests, parents, we want to go ahead and dismiss y'all and let you know that you can go to the community room and please have a treat. If you're going to be picking up your child, you can just wait down there and we'll make sure we get them too.